Hello, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of Get 'em Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. Okay, ladies, so I have a very interesting video for y'all today. So I was having a conversation, and basically we were talking about attractiveness, right? And I had someone ask me, how do I make myself more attractive to the man that most women really want, right? And when I say most women really want him, he's going to be the guy that, yes, is over 6 feet, makes good money. He's going to be probably someone who's very highly sought after, and I'm going to tell you that's a whole thing in itself. But when we're talking those guys, we're talking like the Morris Chestnuts of the world, the Aaron Pierres of the world, the really attractive guys that really honestly, they can have it their way in the dating world because women actually want them, right? It's not much to overcome when it comes to attractiveness with them, right? And even though that may not be everyone's goal, I think it is an interesting thing to still try to reach a certain level of attractiveness, even for yourself, to try to do these things, whether that's the kind of man you want or not, because you should be searching for your best, right? So we're going to go ahead and hop into some tips today, ladies. And since this is the angle we're coming from, I got to let you know this is not a very hold your hand, everyone is perfect the way they are kind of video. I'm going to be realistic with you. If you are trying to attract this kind of man, there are things that are going to be attractive and things that will be a definite no-no. And we're going to talk about it, okay? So let's go ahead and hop into the video. Okay, so let's hop into the first attribute, the first habit, really. Ladies, you really would have to be taking care of your body, okay? I love curvy women. I think curvy women are beautiful. I think plus size women are beautiful. However, if you're going after this demographic of men, you have to realize that he's going to be a fit person, and most likely he's going to be looking for a fit person, right? And in this situation, it is a very, very important thing for your looks to be up, and your body is half the battle. Okay, a lot of times a woman who may not even have the most gorgeous features in the face can kind of get herself there because she takes really, really good care of her body, right, ladies? And honestly, when you take care of your body and you get fit and you get in the gym, it does show the level of care for yourself, right? The level of care and discipline you're willing to put in to take care of yourself, right? And honestly, it does produce a certain look, okay? When people get in the gym, on top of the fact that they're probably toning up or they're gaining muscle and losing fat and all this different stuff, they also start to look younger. You also start to see more of their features and bone structure and all of that. And when it comes to dealing with very conventionally attractive men, those things do stand out. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? The body does stand out. He's going to most likely be looking for someone who's in shape because he's going to be in shape. Okay, ladies, he's most likely going to do that. And like I said before, it's not that there are not situations where it could happen and he could end up being with a plus size woman, but I need you to look at the reality of the fact that don't typically happen, right, ladies? And so I'm going to be realistic with you. If you are looking for someone who is very, very conventionally attractive, someone who's kind of hitting on all cylinders, your body will have to be right. You will have to take care of yourself. You will have to get in the gym. You will have to get into some weightlifting and whatever, Pilates or whatever it is, but you need to be healthy, right? And you need to look healthy. There is a look, right? There is a slenderness and a tone and all of these things. I'm sorry, but there is. And I just feel the need, ladies, to put another disclaimer in there. This is not to say that You can't get a man if you do certain things. This is not to say that. What this is to make yourself more attractive for the men that most women want, right? So it's not to say if you're plus size, you can't get an attractive man. Completely false. What I'm saying is when you want to attract a certain kind of man, a very attractive man, a very well-off and attractive man, the one that most women want, these are things that most likely will have to be in place. Okay, ladies? So I don't want you to think that I'm saying you can't get a certain person. No, you can, but these most likely are things that are going to get you there. Okay, ladies, number 2, which this is going to be kind of our last physical habit, but it's important and it may step on some toes, but it's true. Ladies, in the world of wigs, in the world of weaves and clip-ins and extensions and all of this, I'm going to need you to be able to do both, right? Meaning you look good with the weave in, you look good with the wig on, and you look equally as good when you take it off. You have to be taking care of your real hair. Okay, you have to be able to be sexy when you take the wig off. You got to be able to be sexy when you take down the sew-in. Okay, ladies, in this kind of realm of dating and talking to someone and being with someone, you have to understand that your realness is very valuable. Your ability to take really good care of your real hair and still look sexy if you go and jump in the pool. Okay, your ability to still look sexy even when you don't have the extensions in and you're walking around the house and your hair may not be done up, but you still take care of your hair enough so that you look good without the extra. Okay, when you're talking about dating a person like this, you're going to have to realize that when they wake up in the morning, they probably are going to look good. They're going to look good while they sleep. They're going to look good all the time because they are more conventionally attractive, right? And so you kind of have to have the same attribute. When you get home, you shouldn't have to hide your hair. You shouldn't have to hide behind the wig. You shouldn't have to hide behind the bonnet. You should be able to slide it off. And even if your hair isn't done, you still look good, right? Because you still take care of your hair. You still have hair to take care of. And this is not saying that you have to have hair that you have grown down your back, whether that's a pixie, whether that's natural hair, whether that's locks, whatever it is, you still have to be taking care of your real hair underneath it all, right? And not rely on the wig, not rely completely and solely on the weave, right, ladies? Your realness has to be just as attractive when you are going and dating men like this. Your realness is actually appreciated, and when your realness is very attractive, that kind of puts you up there. You know what I'm saying, ladies? Instead of having to have the added things. It's one thing to want to wear them, but to have them is two completely different things. It's very attractive for you to be able to let it all hang out and you look really, really sexy. Okay. Number 3, we're going to talk about your attitude. When you are dating very conventionally attractive men who have means, you have to realize when it comes to women, there are going to be women throwing themselves at him all the time. These are the men that actually get approached. These are the men that women are like, whoo, yes, Lord, about, okay? And so I need for you to kind of adopt a certain mindset to where even though, yes, this is the kind of man that you may be wanting to attract, you're not so thirsty for it, right? It has to almost become as if, no, it does have to become as if you expect to have a man like this. You're not moved by the fact that he's attractive to you. You're used to it. This is what you expect. This is a part of your experience because of who you are, right? When you are a woman who can be approached by very, very attractive men and not lose your cool, you are more sought after because you're not fangirling because he looks good. He gets treated just like any other man gets treated. And it speaks to your value. It speaks to the fact that you're not so easily moved just by looks. You can recognize that he looks really good and that he's really well off and be willing to let him go if he does not approach correctly. Right? You're not just going to say yes because he looks good and ignore all the red flags. You're not just going to accept any behavior from him and ignore all the red flags because he looks good. Right, ladies? And so when you are a woman who is wanting to attract these kind of men, you have to let go of that thirstiness, because that thirstiness comes from not being used to these kind of men. Right? To not being used to dealing with these kind of men and men of this level of attractiveness. It comes from not dealing with that often. And so when you finally encounter one or you finally get close to one, you just got to let it be known that you think he's so fine. You just got to let it be known and just throw your name in the hat and let him know you think he looks. That's not actually going to get what you want. Okay, you got to act like you've had something before, act like you're used to something. And so you have to be able to see attractiveness and recognize it, but also not be so moved that you start to react out of lack and react as if you've never experienced an attractive man talk to you before. React as if you've had these people throughout your lifestyle. He should think that you have always had people that look like him or better. He should be like, no, she's not even like on me that hard. She must be used to these kind of guys. He should think that your roster has been filled with ball players and actors the way that you will behave, because you're not going to be so moved by the fact that he just looks good. He still has to prove himself just like any other man. Right? And so in your attitude, you have to be able to cool yourself down and recognize, listen, I put a lot of work into myself for you to be even coming over here to speak to me, because I've worked on my attractiveness. I've worked on taking care of my real self. I've worked on getting my skin together and all of these different things to where I look really good now. And I look like I take care of myself. And that's why you're over here. And so because I put all this work in, just because you look good does not mean that you get access to me. You're still going to have to prove yourself just like any other man. Okay, ladies, you have to adopt the mindset that attractiveness does not get them access. Just because they're attractive does not mean they should get access to you, ladies. Just because they're attractive does not mean they get access to your body, ladies. That's not what gets them access to you. They have to do some work. It don't matter how fine they are. Okay, ladies? And I want you to keep that in mind when you are trying to be in the dating world full of conventionally attractive men. You got to act like you've had it before, and you can't be so easy, because if you are, they'll talk to you and they'll date you, but they won't take you seriously. Okay. And we're not looking to be just like a jump off or something. You want to act like you've had this before and have some decorum. Okay. Number 4, it's going to be very, very important. Very, very important that you become obsessed with yourself. And I say this because a lot of times, even with men who don't even look that good, who may not make as much, we as women can make them the center of our world. We will disrupt our whole schedule and our whole routine once we start dating a man, right? And we will make him the center. And so in a situation where you're dating very attractive men who are very well off, the chances of that happening are even higher, right? And so I really, really need you to get rooted in loving yourself and getting very obsessed with yourself, honestly. I need you to be able to get so good in your schedule and so deep into your routines that even he cannot break you from them, right? If you schedule an 8 a.m. walk, okay, and this is your cardio for the day, and this is what you do every day, just because you start dating a very attractive man and at 8:15 he's calling you saying, hey, listen, come by for a minute, whatever, and nothing's actually going on, you're going to have to tell him, listen, I'm on my 8 a.m. walk. I got about another 45 minutes. Then I got to go get myself together. So I'm not going to be able to come right now. You're going to have to wait till after I'm done with my walk. Okay? I need you to get obsessive with yourself and your routines and taking care of yourself and not falling off the wagon because you're talking to him. Okay? He has to know that your time is valuable. He has to know that your routines are very valuable. And furthermore, this is how you keep from losing yourself so much once you're dating. Okay? You have to make yourself keep things intact. And I'm not saying there won't come a time where you may have to disrupt something, but it needs to be for a very good reason. Like if something has happened and you need to get over there, or, there's an emergency or something, yes. But if he's just calling you to come and hang, ladies, he just called you just because I just want to see you. Well, you can see me after I'm done with my cardio. You can see me once I'm done with my morning routine. Then you can see me, right? Because when we start to throw those things away, we stop doing the things that attracted the person in the first place. We stop having the physicality that attracted them in the first place. We're not taking care of our bodies the same. Our bodies start to change. And so all of a sudden, you find yourself dating him, but you're losing the things that got him in the first place. And you're losing the things that had you feeling good about yourself and the way you found yourself and the way you found these routines. You're losing all that. And now it's going to start to feel like he's this big priority in your life. You're losing parts of yourself. You're losing the things that made you happy. You're losing the things that made you look good. And now it's kind of more focused on him. Ladies, I need you to adopt the mindset that it does not matter. If it's not an emergency and you just want to see me, you can see me after this, right? You can see me after I'm done. You can see me after my routine, okay? But I can't have you interrupting it. And he needs to see that you care about your routine that much. He needs to know it. He needs to know the value that you place on your time and on yourself so that he doesn't play with it, right? And so you have to get very obsessive about still taking care of yourself, still sticking to your routines, okay? Still doing the things that upkeep you, especially when dealing with a very attractive man, because there will always be women around, always be women who are taking care of themselves, always be women who are willing, okay? And so this is why a lot of women, they don't even feel like dealing with men that are like at that level because it's a lot. But if you are going to do it, you have to stay on top of these things, not just for him, but yes, to maintain y'all's relationship as well. Okay, ladies? And the fifth habit or tip is to embrace your flamboyance. Okay? In this situation, when you are dealing with these men, the things that make you stand out, the things that make you different are so important because, as we keep saying, there is a pool of women, right? And so embrace your flamboyance in whatever way that you have it. Some women are very flamboyant in their personality, right? They have big, beautiful personalities. They can keep a conversation going. They can laugh anyone out of a room. And that's where they stand out, right? Some women are very flamboyant in their style, right? They love big curly hair and bright colors and flair and things that kind of flow in the wind. Okay? Embrace your flamboyance, whatever that is. Okay? That thing that adds flair to you, whether it's in your personality, in your sense of style. Some women are very flamboyant in their sexiness, right? They just ooze sex appeal, and it doesn't matter if she has on an all black backless dress or whatever. It's just something it's given very Jessica Rabbit. Right, ladies? But embrace those things and don't try to dull them down, okay? Because those are the things that stand out, right? And you should be embracing the things that you have extra flair in. You should be embracing those and actually kind of bringing them to the forefront. It's almost like branding, right? When you have a feature or an attribute that really stands out that people always notice about you, well, you start to highlight it and you start to kind of showcase it in the best way you can. And you want to also do this in these situations as well, because the goal is to stand out. Okay, in a world where there are many women doing the same thing, all going after the same man, you're the one who has that little something that's different. Okay, you're the one who has this difference in your personality and you're not afraid to show it. You're the one who has this difference in your style and you're not afraid to show it, right? Those flamboyant things about yourself, those things that really just add flair to who you are, put them on the forefront. Okay, that makes you different. That makes you stand out. And in the situation where you are dating men who have options, it's great to stand out. Not to say you're standing out on purpose to get his attention, but no, you're standing out because this is who you are and you're going to showcase it, and he gets the opportunity to experience it without you hindering it. Right? And so that is always going to be huge. Anything that is different about you, anything that is stand out about you, embrace it. Embrace that thing. That is the thing that is you, that sends you over. That's the thing that makes you different. Right, ladies? Okay, ladies, so hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. I really wanted to dive into that kind of rare experience of dating those men, right? And it's so interesting to kind of get into those conversations because they can seem vain, but all these things, they're actually really, really important, right? And so if you are the woman who embraces kind of this rare energy to where you attract effortlessly and you attract the men of men, right? You attract the men that most people would want, or you're looking to do so. I want you to go ahead and get in the comments and say, they don't make them like me no more, right? That's your affirmation for the day. They don't make them like me anymore. Okay, ladies, and I want to thank y'all for watching another episode of Get 'em Girl. I hope that y'all enjoyed it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.